Hello, everyone. I just thought we'd take the opportunity to do our live question time about our walking tours planned for Borehamwood. If you've got any questions about that, it will give you a chance to ask them now. The date of them will be Saturday and Sunday, the 18th and 19th of September in Borehamwood. Plan is to do two walking tours. One walking tour will be on the Saturday. We'll start from Elstree and Borehamwood train station. Take probably around about 2.5 hours. So you need to be pretty fit and can do a lot of walking, if you see what I mean. Best coming with good, comfortable walking shoes, if you see what I mean. That will cover not central Borehamwood and south East Borehamwood, taking locations such as the gasworks, the Butler House, Shenley Road, where a lot of the opening and closing credit scenes were filmed, turn around Betty's house, take you onto what was the old back lot at Elstree Studios, take you past the Elstree Studios, up and past the manhole cover that Olive gets stuck in, and where the motorbike crashes into our telegraph pole. Take all those locations in. If we've got the time, we'll take you into the location that's not been confirmed yet, which I do believe is where they filmed the scene with the chimpanzees jumping on the back of the bus and mutiny on the buses. If we've got the time, we'll take that in as well on the Saturday tour. We'll also do the Laundrette. See, obviously the scene there and other scenes that were filmed in that row of shops. And then I'll take you down to which was the old MGM, the old British MGM film studios, which are seen at the end of Holiday on the Buses. There'll be a lot more than that on the Saturday as well. And then the Sunday tour will start from outside Elstree Studios. It'll head to North Borehamwood, taking in locations seen at the start of Mutiny on the Buses, scenes from where Blakey gets splashed, scenes where the motorbike travels down, where in the opening credits of the first film, also where the estate agent shop was, the road where the bus is swerving from side to side with the spiders climbing up the Clippy's leg. Also take you to the point where the police car's parked up and he says, "We stopped here to pick up a couple of drunken tarts." Take you to that site and the row of shops that you see at the start of the first spin-off film, where Arthur holds the door open for Olive to come out with the shopping. And also the diversion scene where the woman driver gets diverted around the housing estate. And there'll be a lot more other locations as well. Probably total over the two locations in total, there'll probably be about upwards of 50 locations to see and visit and photograph. So the cost of that will be £15. The two tours should last about 2.5 hours. So on total about 5 hours. If you live in the London area, you'll be fine to do it because it won't start until noon on the Saturday morning, probably be around about noon on the Sunday when they start as well. So it gives people a chance who are living down in London to head up to Borehamwood. It's only a 20-minute train journey out from St Pancras up to Elstree Borehamwood station. So people living in London should be able to make and travel back after each day if that's what they want to do. Me, I'm travelling down from Edinburgh and I'll be staying in a hotel in Borehamwood, sorry. So the hotels that there are in Borehamwood, for those that are interested in staying in Borehamwood, there's a Premier Inn, there's a Doubletree Hilton, that's right out on the easternmost outskirts of Borehamwood. There's two travel lodges, and there's also a Ibis. right in the town centre. You've got the Elstree Inn, but it's not the most desirable place to stay, shall we say. I've stayed there once when I couldn't get any other rooms, and and any of the other hotels, and it isn't really the best accommodation to stay in. So if you've got any questions, post them up. Anybody that's interested in tickets or more details on how to book and all of that, I can put up my email address on the screen here. And that is the correct one. It was just somebody said the other day that it was getting bounced back, but they had done a typo error typing in that actual email address. So you can email on me on that address, and if you want to attend, I'll tell you how you can go about paying for them, and then the tickets on the pick receipt will be emailed to you. They'll just be e-tickets for you to show to me when you get to the walk-in tour. When you show up, you can just show me them on your mobile, or you can print them out if you want and show me them printed out if you wish. Just cuts down on print costs of sending off tickets through the post to you, if you see what I mean. So if anyone's got any questions at all, just ask them here. If you've got any of my books as well, feel free to bring them along. I'll be happy to sign them while I'm there as well. For those that are staying in Borehamwood, if there's a good number of people there, I will look to do something like a live, like a Q&A, maybe in our public house somewhere. If people would want to do that, I don't know. We can decide that on the day, but that's another thing to bulk the weekend event out, if you see what I mean. I'm happy to answer questions. And as I say, people with the books, any of my books, they can be the On the Bus is the Complete Story, the On the Buses quiz book, and then A to Z of On the Buses, or On the Buses the filming locations, any of those books, and I'm happy to sign them if you bring them along. Okay, so any questions, just fire away with them. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that you might want to know. As I say, tours will last for about 2.5 hours, probably be around about 2 to 3 miles, the walking tours. And same with the one on the Sundays, the same length of time. So just email me on that address if you wish to come. If you want to bring along kids, the kids will be at a cheaper price. The kids will be at £10 a ticket for children. It might be a little bit of a problem, I don't know, for those people that are in wheelchairs. As long as you've got somebody who's fit and healthy to push, if you know what I mean, for that distance of the walking tours, it should be doable. There won't be any steps or anything to go up. It'll just be a case of along pavements and everything. Yeah, I've answered that before. This is just a question about the walking tour. Yeah, I've met lots of the stars before through the events I've organised, the On the Buses events, and through my book launches and all that. But it won't be any celebrities at this event for the simple reason of the COVID situation. It's still sort of like a lot of our celebrities are all at a vulnerable age. There is an event later on in the year in November that will be helping to run, which is around November time. It's an event that Anna Karen, Kate Williams, hopefully, and Adam Rhodes and Wayne Westthorpe will be at, I think. That's in November time. But as I say, my event, there won't be any celebrities there. It's a walking tour of the filming locations. Lasts for about 2.5 hours a day. So probably start around about noon. The walking tour will probably finish around about 2:30 in the afternoon. Same goes for this Sunday. So I'll just await any questions coming in. Yeah, Rob, there is. There'll be shops along the way. I know there's cafes along the Shenley Road, which will be heading along on the Saturday. So places there that'll be shops that'll be selling stuff, and there's cafes in there that do have toilets. So there's a public house or two along the way as well that have toilets in them as well. That's mainly in about the first hour of the walking tour. That would be Raw. But of course, if you're coming on the train, there are toilets in the station as well before you start. If you see what I mean, there's toilets in the train station as well. Second half of it, you might find it a little bit more difficult to get someplace to have a break because it is mainly housing estates that will be going through at that point, if you see what I mean. Apart from when we get to Manor Way, which will be towards the end of it on the Saturday, that has got shops there, but I couldn't guarantee you of any place that's got toilets. Shops that will sell stuff like water and soft drinks, but I'm not sure if there's any that has toilets in. I know there is a cafe, a coffee shop on that row of shops, but I'm not too sure if it's got toilets in it. And the Sundays the same will be roughly starting from the Elstree Studios, which has got our Tesco nearby, which does have toilets in it. And then as we walk around about maybe about an hour and a half into it, we'll come across some more shops. Again, there's cafes in those parades of shops, so you may find that they do have toilets in there as well. And there are shops where you can buy yourself drinks and bottles of water and Coke or such like. So I hope that answers your question. I'm not too sure. We're not doing the cemetery gates, Paul. This is just the Borehamwood locations. But no, there isn't any toilets at the cemetery gates. But we're not actually taking in the cemetery gates because that's at Enfield. That's a little bit too long to get to, Charles. That is in the southeast corner of Borehamwood, as you may or may not know. I don't know if you do know Borehamwood. Sorry, southwest corner of Borehamwood. It's about half an hour's walk from the train station. So basically, you'd be walking half an hour to get to one location, and then a half-hour walk again. So it's an hour's walk for one location, which defeats the cause of it really when you're walking. You've got to go on a route where it takes in as many locations as possible. Charles, I'm sure you'll understand that. So you can keep your questions coming in. Yeah, basically the tours that we do, it's got to be a case of where we're taking them on, where I've plotted out a route that's going to take in as many locations as possible and a good length of time. Yeah, hopefully it will be, Rob. Yeah. Um, yeah, so this is basically it's all for questions if you're interested in the locations tour. But yeah, answer to that question, Anthony. Yeah, and boxes, of course, to break the fall as well. But as I say, the tours have been designed or plotted out to bring in as many locations as possible and as short as time as possible. No, there's not even any public buses that go up that way, Charles. I mean, I have to see how it goes. I mean, obviously, if anyone wants to extend it on after they've done the 2.5 hour tour, I'm happy to walk people up there if they want to do that on the Saturday as an extra. But we'd have to see. I mean, there's a lot of walking before that already, so it might be a one step too far, if you know what I mean. I'm happy to take people up there if they want to go up there. I'm just thinking of trying to keep it as manageable as possible for people to walk, if you see what I mean, Charles. So, but you know what to do if you come on here, if you're looking on to arriving on this video or you watch it on replay. The very first message that you see there is my email address. So, if you're interested in attending, fire me off on email and I'll reply to you. As I say tickets for the adults are £15, for kids, they'll be £10. And that gets you the 2 days of locations tours. Yeah, yeah. Turnaround Betties will be included in the tour. There'll be about, I would imagine, off the top of my head, there's probably around about 25 to 30 locations on each day, maybe a little bit more than that. I've not actually sat down and counted them all precisely yet, but it's probably around 25 to 30 locations on each tour. I don't know if I mentioned it. Taking the Butler House as well, which is right in the town centre. That'll be the Saturday tour, if you see what I mean. Yeah, I like to think it's competitive, Paul. I know that there's tours up here that do tours around in Edinburgh and all that, and it's about, I think they charge about £20 just for one tour, which maybe lasts about an hour and a half. So you're getting two tours for £15 plus. You'll get the full details, a lot of interesting info and tidbits along the way of information. as I say, probably best bringing something like if you've got a pair of comfy trainers or something like that. It's something that I've got to get hold of because that's something that I haven't got. It's comfy trainers, so it's something that I'll have to probably try and dig out in the next month before the event. So just trying to think, if you've got any more questions, just keep asking them and I'll answer them as soon as I see them. Just trying to think of anything else that's pertinent that you might want to know. As I say, if you're travelling in or you're wondering about how to get up to Borehamwood, if you're travelling from somewhere else in the UK, then the train that you want to catch out to Borehamwood from central London, they leave from St Pancras. So you go to the low level at St Pancras station and you catch a train that's going up to Luton and it stops at Elstree and Borehamwood on the way up to Luton. That'll get you to Elstree and Borehamwood in about 20 minutes, I think it is. It's about a 20-minute train journey for that journey. For the hotels, I'll probably be staying in the Premier Inn in Borehamwood. That's maybe about a mile to the east of the city centre, town centre, sorry. The Ibis is probably about half a mile from the town centre. And you've got a travel lodge, which is maybe about a mile and a half from the town centre to the north east of the town centre, and you've got another one that's about the same distance, which is east of the town centre. And the furthest out hotel that you've got is the Doubletree Hilton. It used to be a Holiday Inn. It's right out on the A1 motorway, so that's about maybe 2 miles east of the town centre, I would say. And if we've got the time as well, where it's ending, the tour on the Saturday, it's really near to where they're building the new Sky Studios. So they're going to be making films and all of that there. I'm not sure who it is that's going to be using out of there. I think it might be CBS. But Sky House there as well. It's a massive new studio complex that's being built in Borehamwood. So it's bringing the amount of studios in Borehamwood back up again. Way back in the 1950s, I think there was 4 studio complexes. That went down to 2 in the 1990s. Sorry, you've now only got the 2 now. Just now, it's gone back up to 3 again. Again, Paul, that's too far out. That's you're talking. That's a way out. It's behind the service station on the A1 motorway at the name passes me by right now. I've got it in the tip of my tongue. Potter's out at Potter's Bar, down at Potter's Bar way. So it's too far to actually walk there. When I went and photographed it, it's St Albans way, down that way. It's behind Dean Sullivan, the Sullivan buses, bus depot where that lane is. When I've went there before, I've had to catch a bus, and then it's about maybe about a 20-minute walk off of a bus from the bus stop, maybe a 15-minute walk. So it's a hard trek to get there, if you see what I mean. Especially on foot. You've got to remember, this is only a walking tour, if you see what I mean. As I say, somebody brought up the question before. I think it was, why don't I hire a bus? because buses cost about maybe hundreds of pounds to hire. Where's that hundreds of pounds going to come from? You know, it's not cost effective, if you see what I mean. I will along the way as well, as a little bit of a bonus for you, I will point out one or two other filming locations that wasn't just on the buses, because a heck of a lot was filmed in Elstree and Borehamwood over the years. A lot of TV series, a lot of films. I will point out those filming locations that I can remember along the way. So if you've got any questions, just ask away. As I say, anyone that's new that's joining, the email address that you see up on the right hand side of the screen in the chat box area, right at the top, that's my email address. So if you're wanting to attend, fire me off an email, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. It's up to yourselves as well. I mean, up in Scotland, I'm still very much in the habit of wearing a face mask. If people want to do that, that's perfectly understandable as well. I probably won't on the day, for the simple reason is I'm going to have to, so that people can hear me speaking, I'm going to have to dispense with the face mask at times during the day, but I probably will most definitely have one with me. Yeah, this is sad case of times. Well, we've all got our own lifespan, if you see what I mean. If you on the Saturday, the meet-up location will be outside the Elstree and Borehamwood train station. So it's outside Elstree and Borehamwood on the Saturday, the 18th of September. That'll be at noon for there. I would prefer the payment in advance, but if you want to turn up on the day, then that's fine, and just pay on the day, then that's fine by me, Rob. It's up to yourself, really. But I would sooner have the payment, because obviously the stuff like the payments that are coming for the tickets are going to finance my trip down there and my stay in the hotel, if you see what I mean. So, but it's up to you. If you want to turn up on the day and just pay, then that's fine. But it's better that I know the numbers that are actually going to be here in case I get a really big amount, and then it starts getting a bit awkward. If you see what I mean. Well, they're for the other ones, Paul. Those sorts of events are for the other days. I've done Enfield walking tour before as well. I probably will do it again at some point. So, and I've done all the around that, the grave and everything like that at the where Stan and Jack sunbathed. Obviously, I've been up there a few times and photographed it for my book and all of that, and for the that have appeared in my videos as well. But good chance that we'll be doing it again sometime anyway. So, as I say, these are just primarily Borehamwood based event. I did toy with doing coining and putting Shenley in there, but Shenley again, that's one which is a bus journey out to Shenley. It's a village. It's about a couple of miles to the northeast of Borehamwood. So that would definitely be a bus journey for people. Cheers, Dave. Thanks a lot. So if you've got any questions, just fire them in and I'll answer them for you as soon as I see them on the screen here. All to do with the, obviously, with the walking touring questions that you've got. As I said to Rob there, I would prefer to have payments in advance because then I get an idea of how many numbers to expect. Don't want to sort of like turn it up and then sort of like maybe sold say 5 to 10 tickets and you're only expecting 5 to 10 and then you get another 10 or 20 people coming along on the day, you know what I mean, because then it becomes sort of like I know what it's like when they're doing walking tours. It's hard to keep a big crowd of maybe 30, 40 people all in together, if you know what I mean. I'm able to hear what I'm telling everybody, if you see what I'm saying. Because there will be there will be locations that will be passing by, and obviously my voice has got to carry for everyone to hear the relevance of a certain location. We'll try and stop as many places as I can, especially the really relevant filming locations like the Butler House, Turnaround Betty's house, other such places like that, the Elsley backlot. So there'll be plenty of stops along the way, but with big numbers, it's harder for me to have my voice carry for a big crowd of say 30 people. So I'd like to sort of like know how many are actually going to be there, but if you can't commit, then by all means, if you want to turn up on the day, then and pay on the day, then go ahead. It will only be a cash payment on the day, though. I won't be carrying anything like a card machine or anything like that. So make sure, and I won't be guaranteed to have any change. So if you are going to come, Rob, on the day with cash, then make sure you've got the right amount of money, if you see what I mean. No, somebody else asked me that, Dave. I won't actually be doing a video of the tour, no, because I'll be too busy telling people about the filming locations and such like. So I won't be able to be standing there with a camera recording when I'm speaking to I wouldn't be able to do the job telling everyone about the locations. But rest assured, Dave, because I do intend to get down there on the Friday, and that's the days that will probably go out and record videos. So it will get done. Don't worry about that, Dave. I will record videos to go up on YouTube. I do plan on doing a lot more once the lockdown situation's eased even more, and I can get to more locations as well. They'll be doing them. Yeah, Rob, it's an idea. I'd have to look into that. I'm sort of like only relatively new to YouTube. I've heard about Patreon pages and all that. It's just that I'm a bit dubious, not dubious, but I'm a bit sort of like, I don't know, about shy about asking to for money off of people, if you see what I mean. Uh, it's one of those. I know people do it. It's because I'm a big fan. I watch a lot of the music reaction videos, and a lot of them have got Patreon pages set up for people to send payments. Then they get payments for people to review a certain song. So I suppose I could look into doing something like that if they want to donate towards future events or whatever it is, if you see what I mean. It's something that we'll have to look into. I do have a lot, Paul. There's a lot of my location videos that are already on YouTube, sorry, Facebook. And Facebook is a bit of a swine like that. You can add a lot of videos onto Facebook, but you can't then take them and post them onto some other site like YouTube. You know what I mean? Once Facebook get hold of your videos, basically that's it. They've got hold of your videos, if you see what I mean. Which is a bit bad, really, because I would like to share some of them up onto the YouTube channel as well, if you see what I mean. There's some good ones there on my Facebook channel page, sorry. And I won't be there. The washing line's gone now, unfortunately, Ben. The poles are still there, but there's no washing line there. Yeah, I hope to get more up there, Dave. As I said, and I know I've got another Bob Grant interview that as I was talking about the other night there, which is it's really frustrating because I've lost it. It's a really good interview, but I did have it. I'm sure I had it on either a disc or a memory card somewhere, but I can't find it anywhere, which is really frustrating. So if you've got any more questions, just post them up and I'll answer them for you while I'm here. Just trying to think of any other pertinent points I've missed. I don't think I have. It is a point to make though as well. That, as I say, you do need to be relatively fit, like mobile to partake in this. I've done walking tours that have been part of the bigger on the buses events, and people found that they couldn't keep up, or it was too far for them to walk, even though it was even shorter than this one is. For some, walking even like anything like half a mile is too much for them. So it's just to be warned that there is a good chunk of walking to do on the day, if you see what I mean. It's something that can't be avoided, if you know what I mean, if you want to take in as many locations as you can, or for everybody on the Saturday and Sunday. It will be, as I said, overwhelmingly on the buses based, but I will go into some, I will share some interesting stories about the Elstree studios, about what happened when it was cut down in size and why that happened, and why the British MGM studios closed down in 1970. So I'll go into all those details on the day at the appropriate points of the tour. Oh, you won't. I'll have a lot of things there for you, Ben. If you see what I mean, I'm prepared there already. If you give me a tick, Ben. Right. You want to bear with me a minute, Ben. I've got bits like the screen grabs anyway that will have with me, Ben, so you won't really need to bother doing that. If you see what I mean, I'll have stuff like this here to hold up for you to look at. Other ones is like there, for example, I'll have ones like that for you to look at. So I'll have all of them, so you won't really need to bother with that. All of the ones, I mean, you can bring it along if you want. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm all sort of like prepared to have those sorts of things already like that, Ben, because that's what I take down with me when I'm going to photograph those locations. I take the screen grabs so that I get a view exactly as it was, so I know where to stand to take my photograph of the location as it looks today. probably the most done thing is what Rob's suggesting, Jane. Rather than a PayPal link, the most pertinent thing I would say would be our Patreon page. I think that's the most done thing to do on YouTube, if you know what I mean. I know that because I'm a great one for watching music reaction videos. I like watching Americans reacting to maybe songs from Britain that they've never heard before, and they all have like Patreon pages. I've never actually looked into them or anything like that for myself, but it's certainly something to think about, as Rob says there. Yeah, as I say, Ben, there's a heck of a lot, not heck of a lot that was filmed down there. There's scenes from like off Where to Sing Pet was filmed down there. There was also a Monty Python film. There's also stuff like The Saint, The Champions, The Avengers. They were all filmed in Borehamwood at Elstree Studios. Also UFO. They also filmed the Rise and Damp film there. I will point out a scene from the Rise and Damp film where it was filmed when we're down there as a little bonus. Also, scenes from the Likely Lads film was filmed in Borehamwood. I'll also point out those locations as well to you. So, I mean, it'll mainly overwhelmingly be on the buses locations, but I will point out other pertinent little details as well along the way, as I say. Yeah, that's like the PayPal do charge. They'll take about maybe, depends how much you donate, but they normally take about maybe 50 pence or something like that of every thing that gets sold or bought through them, if you see what I mean. It's maybe even more than that. The more money that you transact through them, the more money they take out of it, if you see what I mean. Yeah, that's correct, Ben. Quite possibly. I know the Confessions films were, but I'm not really a fan of the Confessions films myself, but there you go. They also, as well, I'll probably take you in if I've got the time again and point out locations they filmed the George and Mildred film there as well. So, yeah, I'm Doris Sayre was. Doris Sayre was in the Confessions film as well. Okay, so if you've got any questions about the tour, the walking tour, then ask away. As I said, I've posted it up at the top of the chat box there for my email address. If you want to email me about tickets, then just send me an email and I'll tell you how you can go about paying for the tickets. And as soon as I've got the payment for them, I'll email them right off to you. Cheers, Rob. As I say, I love to look into how to setting it all up. I'm relatively sort of like new to YouTube. I've been on it a while really, but I've only really got serious with it over the last maybe since lockdown started. I've had videos on YouTube for about, oh God knows how long now. Probably around about maybe 10 years or something like that. But I only really started getting serious on YouTube once lockdown started, and obviously I have more time on my hands. Obviously, I have my Facebook channel, my Facebook group with lots of locations and all that on. And then that's when I come up with the idea of putting them into a video format and loading them up onto YouTube to so that more people could get to see them. Nah, I don't have any videos now. As I say, I will also look into, because I've got a lot of videos that are on YouTube. If there's any way at all that I can get them off of there, so that I can also load them on to the YouTube channel, then I will try and do it if I can. But I don't think that there's a way to do it. Once they get hold of your material that you posted on there, that's it. They've got it, and they see that as their material. Then, do you see what I mean? So, any questions about the tour? Just keep them coming in. Anything to do? Any questions you want to ask? I think I've answered them all for you anyway. As I say, if you're in the London area, then it's very possible, you probably decide to do that anyway, is to just travel from home for the 2 days of it. Especially if you're in North London, because you've just got to get to St Pancras and then get a train out to Borehamwood, which is a 20-minute train journey. I know I used to live in the London area for a couple of years. But that's a station that you want to make for if you're coming from somewhere else in the UK and planning on staying on Borehamwood like I am, then make your way to St Pancras if you're travelling by public transport, that is, and then a train from there, from the lower levels at St Pancras, right up to Borehamwood. Yeah, cheers, Dave. Hopefully it will be. That's the plan anyway. Not just be a case of normal dress there, Diana, just normal dress, I would say. Obviously, there's kids and everything like that around, and obviously we're walking around a built up family area and all of that. So we've got to be sort of like, how should I put it? If you want to come dressed as a Clippy, that's up to you, Deanna. That's fair enough. I've got no problems with that, Deanna. As I say, the walking tour will start from Elstree and Borehamwood. Will take about 2.5 hours from there. Depending on how people feel, I'm happy, and depending on how I feel, obviously, as well. If people want to go up to that location, but it is a fair distance away, I will show them where it is. Yeah, it's worth a watch, Ben. Worth a watch. So keep your questions coming in. You got any more questions, then ask away. Yep. Cheers, Dave. Okay, any more questions, anyone? And I'll wind it up for the night if that's the case. And as I say, I'll just run over the details again before I log off. Your tour is on the Saturday the 18th and Sunday the 19th of September. £15 for the full weekend. And the email address to contact me on is right at the top of this chat box. Just fire me an email to that address and I'll answer you, and I'll tell you how you can pay for the tickets if you've got any more questions to ask. Yeah, that's right, Ben. Yeah, that was like Skeggs. It got all the costs down by advertising on the sides of the buses. So the tours will leave from the first tour on the Saturday. Will leave from outside the train station, Elstree and Borehamwood train station, on the Saturday at about noon. Tour should finish by around about 2:30. And on the Sunday, the locations tour will start from outside the Elstree studios. Around about noon again, and it will finish around about 2:30 in the afternoon again. Okay, so everyone seems to have had asked all the questions. So I'm going to call it a night now. You can still use this box and post up any questions that you've got about anything covered, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But if you're interested in coming, find me off an email as seen at the top of the page here. Okay? Okay, bye for now.